It's a hot, muggy summer night in Toronto, and as the CN Tower stands high above the Rogers Center, the Boston Red Sox are in for the second game of a three-game series. Boston won the opener 7-5. Blue Jays hit 3 more home runs, but came up on the short end of that game. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez, along with Pat Tabler. And Pat, the Blue Jays are 7 games over 500 against the American League East clubs, but Boston has dominated the season series. They've won 8 of the 10 games. What is it about the Red Sox the Blue Jays can't figure out?
It certainly is something with the Red Sox. They seem to get the big hit when they need it. They play just a little bit better. Blue Jays have lost 8 games to the Red Sox this year. 6 of them have been by 1 or 2 runs. So it seems like the Red Sox are coming up with the big base hits, and I think that's where you go to that last row there. 337 with runners in scoring position for the Red Sox this year. They've come up with some very big hits.
Now, there were 5 home runs in the game in last night's game. Tonight's pitching matchup is a good one. Clay Buchholz has been the Boston Red Sox most consistent starter. Sean Markham has played the role of the stopper all year long. Should be another great pitching matchup.
Buchholz with 4 career wins against the Blue Jays. He has pitched great. Markham has pitched very good against the Boston Red Sox. The last time he saw them, he has kept the ball out of the middle of the plate, which is so key for Markham. 16 of 25 first pitch strikes. I think that's what he needs to do tonight. Get ahead early where he can use his secondary pitches and always keep the ball away from these big hitters.
Well, the Blue Jays are finally back at full strength. The shortstop, Junel Escobar, the center fielder, Vernon Wells, are back in the lineup tonight. Their injuries had them out for a very short period of time. And for the most recent update, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, Vernon Wells suffered that dislocated big right toe in Brandon Morrow's one-hitter on Sunday. Originally, the Blue Jays were thinking about keeping him out until the natural surface on Friday, but Vernon Wells said, no, sir. He's taped it up. He will play, but it does bother him. We'll keep our eye on that. As for Junel Escobar, the story is a little bit different there. He walked into the clubhouse today. He spoke to trainer George Poulos and assistant trainer Mike Frostad, declared himself 100%, so he's back in and ready to go here tonight.
Blue Jays trying to even the series at a game apiece. Sean Markham has been the stopper all year long. 7 of his 10 wins have come after a Blue Jays loss. Clay Buchholz goes to the mound for the Red Sox. He's always pitched well at Rogers Center. He has a 2.15 career ERA.
Sportsnet, brought to you by your local. On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful night for a ball game at Rogers Center. It's a great night for your first Blue Jays game. And yes, you can be on TV, and we're glad you're here. Hopefully it'll be a fun game, and you'll want to come back for more. Blue Jays are really hanging in there. You look at the record. This is the battle for the division. Within the East, Tampa Bay 27-17. The Yankees have played well, and the Blue Jays have really played well. Boy, if you could even their record against Boston, they'd be right among the leaders.
If you want to win the division, you've got to beat the best, the Rays, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. Heavyweights in all of baseball. The Blue Jays have really held their own. And you're right. If they could just figure out a way to come up with a big hit here, a big hit there, they would beat the Red Sox. They've lost 8 out of the 10 games against Boston this season. Have a chance tonight because they got one of the big stoppers in their rotation going tonight is Sean Markham.
And Sean Markham set to make the start here tonight, trying to even this series at a game apiece. Terry Francona's Red Sox won the opener 7-5 on a couple of big home runs late in the ball game. Adrian Beltre having a career season. He has put up big numbers against Sean Markham, 7 for 18 with a pair of home runs. Beltre is third in the American League with a .333 batting average. He is a free agent at the end of this season, putting up monster numbers, trying to create a crowd for his services for next season.
Not like he did in 2004 when he knocked out 48 home runs when he was a member of the Dodgers. Sean Markham takes the hill tonight, had his personal 3-game win streak snapped his last time out, but as the Yankees reached him for 5 runs in 6 innings, including Alex Rodriguez's 600th career home run. No big deal, Markham says. You just move on. He pitched well against Boston this season. He has pitched well here at home. Hasn't lost a game here at Rogers Center since June the 2nd when Tampa Bay beat him 7-3. Defensively for the Blue Jays tonight, Travis Snyder with a big night last night, back in the lineup in left field. Vernon Wells back in after a couple of days off. Edwin Encarnacion is fielding the ball well the second half. JP Arancibia and Sean Markham will make the battery here tonight. Vernon Wells again back in with that dislocated toe, and Junel Escobar with the bad knee back in the lineup, just missed a day.
Well, that's a good sign when you have banged up players fighting to get back in the lineup. That says you're headed in the right direction. Nobody wants to sit these games out. Marco Scutaro scuffling over his last 8 games, hitting under 100. He was 0 for last night, 0 for 5, reached on an error in the 7th. First pitch strike from Markham.
Something that we will see a lot from Sean Markham when he is on his game. Lots of first pitch strikes. He did it the last time he faced the Boston Red Sox, faced 25 batters, had 16 first pitch strikes.
0-2. I don't care if you throw 105 or 75. If you can pitch ahead, you have the upper hand.
You just expand everything. Expand the strike zone. You can use your secondary pitches. The unique thing about Sean Markham is his changeup. Probably his best pitch, and he's got 2 different variations of it. So as a hitter, you don't know what to look for.
0-2. Off the plate inside. You see 83 miles an hour. That's that changeup he'll turn over. It'll run down and in from time. He'll also cut it away from the right-handers. A lot of weapons for Markham to attack this lineup. A ball and 2 strikes. Popped in the air. Junel Escobar, the shortstop, calling for it in shallow left field. 1 out.
You talked about the changeups, and I think that's going to be a very important weapon for Sean Markham tonight. The scouting report on the right-hander, use all of his pitches. He uses them all. He's got plenty of them. The fastball, the cutter, a couple of changeups, the curveball, the slider, and the swing at the change. I think he's got to get the Red Sox swinging at that changeup tonight. And he's had great success against the Boston Red Sox in his career, 5-2 with an ERA under 3. Red Sox hitting just over 200 against them.
A lot of veteran hitters in the lineup like J.D. Drew. Drew went deep last night, hit his 13th home run of the season in the 5th inning. But over the last 10 games, he too hitting under 200. Been a little bit of a struggle, and that's what makes you shake your head when you look at the standings and see the Red Sox just 5 back of the Yankees.
They've had so many injuries. They've had players they haven't even had career years or the average years that they have had. And there they sit I think Terry Francona has done an outstanding job with his bunch of players.
Well, there's a covey of injured players down on that end of the dugout. Mike Cameron and Jason Varitek. Dustin Pedroia's on the bench, and their players have been with them all the time. Nobody stays home. Pedroia there in the middle of your screen, scheduled to rejoin this team Tuesday if all goes well with a couple of rehab games down in the minor leagues. Jacoby Ellsbury has missed most of the season. It's a bullet down the right side, but foul.
The guys who have been hurt, they might be working harder than the guys who are playing every day. We say that in jest, obviously, but it's impressive watching some of these veterans like a Varitek and a Pedroia keep working out even though they're injured.
Yeah, they had to throw the reins on Pedroia there for a while. He was working out with a boot on. Varitek's been throwing for 5 weeks from his knees. Mike Cameron still dealing with an abdominal strain. There's a one-out walk issued to J.D. Drew, first base runner of the game. So Markham checks with his shortstop to see who's got coverage at second on a comebacker. Victor Martinez extended his hit streak last night to 8 games. He too, part of the walking wounded for a while, fractured a thumb, got hit with a foul tip. Loves this ballpark. Hitting over 300 at Rogers Center.
Power from both sides of the plate. Victor Martinez was a Silver Slugger Award winner in 2004. Been in the big leagues for 6 years, and Red Sox are going to have some decisions to make with Victor Martinez, who is a free agent at the end of the season.
Silver Slugger, of course, identifies the most productive offensive player at all the positions on the field. Blue Jays had 2 of those winners last year in Aaron Hill and Adam Lind. Popped up right field. Bautista comes in over near the foul line, makes the catch. 2 outs. So the big DH will bat with 2 outs. David Ortiz had a couple of hits, 2 doubles in last night's game in 4 trips. Big Papi's been swinging a big bat. 6 homers in his last 17 games. Blue Jays using the modified shift with J.D. Drew at first base. Up and away for a ball. Two outs here in the first. Cutter off the plate. Ortiz has the count in his favor.
Ortiz thinking not about the shift. He's looking to try and drive that ball, to drive in that runner from first base. We saw him last night cross up the shift by hitting a double down the left field line. That off Ricky Romero. He's always had a great eye at the plate for a big time slugger. He's always had a good idea where that strike zone is.
Three balls, no strikes, 2 outs.
Aaron Hill, I've been watching him this whole at bat. Watch him, he keeps getting deeper and deeper as we get into this count, and he actually moves over towards the line like he knows there's an off-speed pitch coming. I mean, he is playing almost an outfield position. See him creeping over towards the line.
Full count. Markham now will hear from Lyle Overbay, who's going to move behind J.D. Drew at first. Drew will be off on the pitch. A 2-out walk. 2 walks in the inning issued by Markham. The Red Sox will have runners at first and second for Adrian Beltre, the third baseman.
Well, that's certainly not the guy you want to be facing with a couple of runners on base. You mentioned the great numbers that Beltre has had in his career versus Sean Markham. He's also been hot over his last 28 games. He's driven in 22.
Among the leaders in batting average, he is third in the American League, trailing only Josh Hamilton and Miguel Cabrera. Markham in a jam early. Red Sox showing great patience, not chasing any borderline pitches early in this game.
What's new about the Boston Red Sox? They do such a good job about that. Veteran hitters up and down the lineup. They have an idea what they want to do, and they step in that batter's box.
There's a strike. It's a ball and a strike to Beltre. That's how you put up big numbers. You deliver with 2 outs, and that's what Beltre's done this year. A .380 average. Runners in scoring position and 2 down. That's where we're at here in the first. Just off the plate. Beltre's really zeroed in on Markham. You can see he's not moving at all. If it's off the plate, I mean, it doesn't even get him to offer at it.
They have faced him enough now, the Red Sox batters versus Sean Markham, to have an idea of what they're trying to do to him. And watching the first few batters of this game, it looks like they are really zeroing in on that changeup. You don't see a lot of movement from these players as they go attack the ball.
Just foul side of third. That's a great point. If you are looking for an off-speed pitch, you don't have to commit so early. If you were looking for the fastball, you'd be anxious. You'd be a little bit quicker to pull the trigger. But it looks like they're sitting off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it certainly does. When you want to hit a fastball, you got to get it started a little bit early because you want to hit it out in front. Victor Martinez and Scudero, Drew, Ortiz, even Beltre, really waiting a long time on Markham's pitches.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Way outside. That was never a tempting pitch for Beltre. Markham pulled it way off the plate early on. So it'll be another full count. Drew at second, Ortiz at first. They'll be off on the pitch. There go the runners. Hit him. So Markham has walked 2 batters and hit a batter to load the bases here in the first inning.
And you watch him, he keeps trying to rub dirt on his hands, like he can't get a good grip on the baseball. He actually went down to the field turf and wiped that, trying to keep his hands dry. Markham really sweats a lot. He takes the dirt and rubs it on his pants to try and keep the ball dry.
You've played in games like this where it's so hot and muggy, you literally can't find a dry spot on your uniform to wipe your hand dry.
That's why he takes the dirt and rubs it on his pants, so at least he can try and keep that dry. This is not the Sean Markham that we have seen walking batters. He came into this game just 29 base on balls all season long.
Mike Lowell with the bases loaded. No balls and a strike. Lowell had the go-ahead home run in the 8th last night. Fouls it back. Markham's ahead.
He had a sacrifice fly early in the game, a good piece of hitting, and this time goes down against Sean Camp. And breaks the tie late in the game with a home run. Just his 4th of the season. He's a professional hitter. He understands that. There are his good numbers. 8 grand slams and a career batting average just under 300 in these situations.
Markham's way out in front, 0-2. Bases are full of Red Sox. Wouldn't chase. And again, Markham wiping that right hand on his uniform, trying to dry off that hand so he gets a good grip on the baseball. Well, think about it. He's been warming up since about 20-7. Got the same uniform on. There will be times he'll go in tonight and change his entire uniform. Undershirt, underpants, uniform, everything, trying to stay dry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just off the plate. This is the challenge you have against a veteran lineup. They're very patient. They don't panic in these situations.
They make great adjustments also. You can see it from 1 through 9 with this team. Even the young hitters like Kalish and Ellsbury will learn from the veterans. No panic in any of them.
Tough assignment for the young catcher, J.P. Arancibia, just his 3rd major league game. Trying to get Markham through this first inning. No chase at all. Lowell saw it all the way.
That's what we said in our scouting report. He's got to somehow figure out a way for the Red Sox to swing at his changeup, which is hard to do. If you can get ahead early, maybe you can expand the strike zone and use that changeup. But these veteran hitters, they're not even offering at it.
Zeroed in on strikes. So with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Mike Lowell batting. Red Sox base runners will be off on the pitch. Just inside. Markham made a great pitch. He thought it was strike 3. J.D. Drew comes in on the bases loaded walk. This is a pretty good pitch.
It certainly is. It looked like a cutter that backed up on Mike Lowell, and he hit the glove. Looked like it was plenty enough over the plate. This one will really tell if it clips part of that inner half. And that certainly does. That's a strike.
Yep. But it's a bases loaded walk. The Red Sox have taken a 1-0 lead. And Ryan Kalish, the rookie. Well, it's a tight strike zone right now. Greg Gibson not giving anything on the corners.
How much of it is the pitcher's inability early in the game to not throw strikes consistently, where an umpire then anticipates the ball off the plate?
Well, that has a lot to do with it. Markham had 2 walks and a hit batter and was really having a tough time throwing strikes, and then throws a good strike. Gibson hadn't seen many of them. A ball and a strike. The rookie goes after the changeup. Different approach when you're facing a rookie compared to Ortiz, Beltre, and Lowell.
Never seen him before. Doesn't know what the pattern's going to be against him. Doesn't see the ball out of his hand.
Don't let him off the hook.
Certainly is different when you've never faced a guy before.
Bases are still loaded. Kalish came on as a pinch hitter in last night's game, and he collected his first major league pinch hit. Hit a line drive to center field off Sean Kemp. 11 for 30 in his young career. Good looking young hitter. Foul back to the screen. Markham can really keep his ball club right in the middle of this game if he strands the bases loaded.
3 walks, a hit batter, and come away with just 1 run. That's what he's thinking about right now. Make a pitch right here, 2-2. Certainly don't want to go to a full count, 3-2, and get those runners moving on the pitch.
Got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Markham does exactly that. He strands the bases loaded, minimizes the impact of the walks and the hit batter. Bases loaded walk scores J.D. Drew, but the strikeout ends the inning. The Blue Jays are set to bat bottom of the first inning. Adam Lynn is in his career against Clay Buchholz has hit him well. 6 for 18. That's a .333 average with a couple of long balls. Lynn had a home run in last night's game, part of a 2-hit night for Adam Lynn. Starting to go the other way with more consistency, and his average is up to .227.
Clay Buchholz has been one of Boston's better pitchers since returning from the stay on the disabled list last month. His 12 wins ranks him 5th in the American League. That ERA at 2.66, good for 3rd in the AL. He's won his last 3 starts versus the Blue Jays here at Rogers Center.
First pitch swing, Travis Snyder has it go off the glove of Mike Lowell. Buchholz was late getting to the bag. That was a rocket, hit right to the feet of Mike Lowell at first. It'll be an error on the first baseman.
His first of the season defensively for Boston tonight. Ryan Kalish will get the start in left field. He has started out there 10 times, and the team is 8-2 when he starts out there. Marco Scudero, Bill Hall at second base. Some changes for Terry Francona's team defensively tonight. There's Mike Lowell charged with his first error of the season over there at first.
Junel Escobar back in the lineup after missing last night's game. And a sore knee, came into the ballpark today, felt great. Went right to the training staff and said, "Tell Cito I'm all set to go." Travis Snyder at first. Escobar bunts it back to the mound. Buchholz will underhand it to Lowell, and Escobar moves Snyder to second base.
Probably a sac bunt right there for Escobar, trying to push that ball by the pitcher. But he gets the tying run very quickly in the scoring position for Jose Bautista.
9 home runs in his last 14 games. Bautista leads the majors with 35. High fastball. Number 35 came last night.
Pulls his hands in on an inside fastball, gets the barrel of the bat to the ball, keeps it fair. A lot of times you'll see hitters go around that ball and hook it foul. Bautista has that ability to stay inside of it and keep it fair for a home run.
Got a fastball, got under it and popped it back over the backstop. Really has a good idea of what he wants to do here tonight against Buchholz. Still looking for fastball. That's his game plan. A ball and a strike. One out with Travis Snider at second base. Off the glove of Martinez. Back to the screen. Snider goes to third. So just like that, the Blue Jays are in a great opportunity to tie it up.
I don't know if Victor Martinez was surprised by that ball or he just missed it. The overhand curveball, that looks like a cross-up between his catcher and his young starter.
It's a pass ball charged to Victor Martinez. It sure did look like he was crossed up. He was set up on the inside part of the plate. And you can see he never got his glove turned over. He was surprised that he was trying to catch a curveball. Infield back, they'll concede a run with the ground ball. Change up, down and away, 3-1.
Yeah, I like how Bautista just gets on the plate and just dares pitchers to try and throw him inside. He is actually, his elbows and his bat, the hands are just over the inside part of the plate. Gets out of that pigeon-toed stance. You can see Victor Martinez thinking about that, so he goes away.
Fly ball right field, should be deep enough. Snider is tagging at third. Drew's got a good arm. Here's the throw to the plate. Snider with the slide. And we are tied at 1. Bautista picks up the RBI, his 87th of the season.
Red Sox score a run without a base hit, and the Blue Jays come right back. An error, a bunt, a pass ball, and now the sacrifice fly by Bautista as Travis Snider comes around and gets the game's first run. Bautista drives in a run for a sacrifice fly for just the third time this year, picking up that runner from third with less than 2 out.
Bautista has 87 ribbies. That is 2 behind Alex Rodriguez for third in the American League. Brennan Wells back in the lineup. Hitting nearly 300 over his past 12 games. He dislocated his right big toe when he slammed into the fence in center field on Sunday afternoon. Made a great catch, preserving the no-hitter at the time for Brandon Morrow.
And the first thing that we asked the Blue Jays is the toe okay to hit? That's the first thing that we thought about. Because it's on his right foot, that is the plant foot where he'll spin off the backside right there. And when you go for a swing, you got to spin, and that toe jams down into the dirt. Blue Jays say it's not a problem.
Bouncing ball back to the mound. Buchholz retires Vernon Wells, but the Blue Jays have tied it at 1-1. An error, a pass ball, and a sac fly. 1-1 after 1. Rogers Sportsnet. The Red Sox will be here for a 12:30 p.m. start. That's Eastern time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. The final game of this 3-game series. Pitching matchup tomorrow, John Lackey against the left-hander Brad Mills. Bill Hall starting at second base tonight. Last night he started in left field. He literally has to look at the lineup card every day to figure out where he's playing.
He's got so many different gloves. He's very versatile. Can do a lot of things on the baseball field.
Start all 3 outfield positions and all the infield positions except catcher and first. Little cutter out to the plate. Markham's ahead of ball and 2 strikes.
From what we saw in the first inning from Sean Markham, he's got to take it and think about what the Red Sox hitters did to him in the first inning. Sit back, sit back, sit back. I think that changes the way he attacks these guys now. We might see more fastballs, more hard stuff early, and then try and get them to get the curveball, because they're obviously laying off that changeup.
Well, I think this is the most challenging pitcher for JP Arencibia behind the plate, because he has so many ways he can attack a hitter. And I don't think JP's had a chance to really catch a pitcher like Markham. There aren't many like him.
Well, he's got so many different options, and he's got so many different ways to get you out. It's got to be hard for a young catcher to come up and think about what you're trying to do against these Red Sox hitters. What are the strengths of your starter?
Long drive left field. This ball is gone. Second deck home run for Bill Hall. His 14th of the season.
We've talked about the Blue Jays hitting home runs all season long, but the Red Sox are number 2. They've got some power up and down that lineup. It looked like another off-speed pitch, and it hangs over the middle of the plate. Bill Hall hits from an open stance, but then closes up and uses his hands, and he's very strong. Very quick, short swing there from Hall, and he knows he got it.
2 decisive home runs in last night's game for Boston. J.D. Drew and Mike Lowell, and Bill Hall uses the home run to give the Red Sox the lead. Jacoby Ellsbury had a couple of hits in 4 trips in last night's game. A ball and a strike to the Red Sox center fielder. Numbers are down this season, but he has hit well for his career against the Jays.
Just recalled on August the 4th, as Ellsbury's been out pretty much the whole season with injury. Terry Francona wants to hit him down in the lineup so he gets comfortable. It's just like having another leadoff hitter when you've got some speed like that hitting down at the number 9 position.
Two balls and 2 strikes here. Nobody out in the second. Fly ball to the gap in left center. Vernon Wells cruises over and makes the catch.
On Saturday, August 14th, Rogers Sportsnet 1 will launch. See the Jays take on the Angels this Saturday at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Rogers Sportsnet 1, the exclusive home of 25 Jays games.
The Jays will start that West Coast swing. Angels in athletics before they turn around and catch up with these Red Sox back at Fenway Park. Marco Scutaro hitless in 6 at-bats so far in this series. It's a strike. It's a ball and a strike.
Last year, his on-base percentage was .380. Helped along by 90 base on balls last year when he was a member of the Blue Jays. This year, Marco Scutaro is not drawing the walks like he did last year. Just 42 of them for the Red Sox. Now, I would think that would go up going to a team like the Boston Red Sox.
With so many veteran hitters in the lineup, you know that you have to get on base and just really wait for your pitch. I'm surprised at that number as well. On base percentage has dropped, and maybe the Green Monsters had something to do with that. That gets in everybody's head.
Especially those right-handed hitters. I mean, you can actually see it out of the corner of your eye when you're standing in the plate.
Tough hop for Encarnacion at third. Good strong throw, and he retires Scudero. That ball hit the edge of the dirt and really gave him a nasty hop, but he hung in there.
You know what the whole key to that was he got down as low as possible. If you can get down there, you can see that ball come off the ground. Encarnacion gets down and fields it off to the side. It's a lot easier to field the ball off to the side when you're a third baseman. You see the ball a lot longer. Gets down, and then it's easy after that. As soon as you catch the ball, it's easy to get it over across the diamond.
Especially when it's hit so hard because you got so much time. J.D. Drew walked and scored the first run of the ball game. There's that off-speed pitch, and he does chase that one. Drew's in a hole, 0-2. Markham continues to try to hit the corners. He understands he's got to stay out of the middle of the plate.
Something he did so well when he pitched back at Boston in May. There you go.
Good fastball. That caught the outside corner. Markham gives up the leadoff home run to Bill Hall, that bounces back and retires the next three and strikes out J.D. Drew. Boston leads it 2-1.
Products, including a new HD Quadron TV and Blu-ray player. Enter online at hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp Aquos with Quadron technology. You have to see it to see it.
Adam Lind starts off the bottom of the second inning. Blue Jays trail it by a run. Lind extended his hit streak to 4 games last night with a homer and double.
Do you get the sense that Adam Lind is really starting to come around now?
Yeah. He looks like a different hitter, hitting with more confidence and much more patient at the plate.
Well, when we saw the home run in last night's game, that ability to get on top of a high fastball and hit it the other way, that tells me that he is ready to bust out.
Had a good look at a nasty curveball from Buchholz. It's a ball on the strike. Buchholz, like Markham, having a tough time figuring out where the strike zone is. He made a pretty good pitch with that curveball and didn't get the call.
Looked like it fooled everybody. He's got a good one.
right over the top, and it's hard.
Bounced off the plate. Tough play. Bill Hall doesn't have a play. Infield single. 5-game hit streak now for Lynn.
Take them any way you can get them. Scouting report for Clay Buchholz. His fastball has some steam on it. He's got a 4-seamer, can reach up to 97, a 2-seamer about 93. Sox best curveball. They've got some good breaking ball pitchers like Daisuke Matsusaka and Josh Beckett, but he might have the best curveball and still more options. Scouts think that his best pitch might be his changeup, but he's added a couple of other pitches this year to make him an all-around pitcher.
Throwing a sinker now and cutting the fastball as well, so he doesn't feel like he's backed into a corner at all. Aaron Hill cuts on the first pitch and fouls it off his foot. Hill hit cleanup in the absence of Vernon Wells last night, went 0 for 5. But he has started to show signs that he's headed in the right direction.
He's hit some ball hard, but really hasn't had a lot to show for it the last week or so, especially on this homestand. Just getting under pitches and driving them to the warning track. That is always a good sign when you start to hit the ball hard, that good things are just around the corner.
No balls and a strike. And dives back into first. Then with the infield base hit, first hit of the night for the Jays. They scored a run in the first inning without benefit of a hit. Snyder reached on an error, moved up on the sacrifice bunt, and scored on a sac fly. Also, there was a pass ball involved in that first Blue Jays run.
Boston scored a run in the first inning without a hit.
3 walks and a hit batter. Bases loaded walk issued to Mike Lowell. Sean Markham really did a good job of minimizing the damage in that first. Big bouncing ball to Beltre. Second base for 1. Back to first. Double play. A sharp 2-hopper hit to the former Gold Glover Adrian Beltre at third. He made a good throw to Bill Hall at second.
He's so quick. He's got good feet. And he's got a good, strong, accurate arm. As a third baseman, all you have to do is get it over there and let the second baseman do the rest. And Hall showing some versatility. Again, he's played some shortstop, third, outfield. That time, quick hands and a strong and accurate arm to turn 2.
So the leadoff base hit is erased. Lyle Overbay steps in with 2 down. .97 on the get-ahead fastball.
He has that ability. He's got a couple of different types of fastballs, and they reach about 96 or 97.
That is a very small strike zone for Greg Gibson tonight. Both pitchers have had to deal with the same tight strike zone. Change up, missed down. It's tight and not very tall.
And if I'm a hitter and I'm watching this, I'm just going to stand up there and make sure they groove me one, because you're not going to get the call.
We haven't seen any of the hitters on either side chasing aim borderline pitches. Why would you?
Yeah.
Driven to center field. Ellsbury got a late break, but gets over in time to close out the inning. A leadoff walk, a double play, and then the fly ball. Buchholz leaves the second, leading 2-1. of the Toronto Baseball Association tonight. The Toronto Mets are here with great seats to take in the action. That's courtesy of TD Canada Trust. Those big comfy chairs right along the first baseline. They're in for another good one. We had a good ball game here last night. Boston won 7-5. There were 5 home runs hit in last night's game. Bill Hall has already gone deep here this evening. Victor Martinez takes one close and says, why not? Hasn't been a strike all night.
No corners tonight, so pitchers have to be a little bit sharper.
To Hopper to Overbay. He'll take it himself. Markham has the first out of the third. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, the Boston Red Sox have made a roster move today. Kevin Cash was placed on the DL, and Jared Saltalamacchia was called up. What is interesting about that is he played first base for Pawtucket last night. That forced Carlos Delgado out of the lineup, in case you're wondering where he is. And a good chance Saltalamacchia will play first tomorrow. As for Delgado, he's back in the lineup for Pawtucket tonight. He's 1 for 1 in the game, and they expect to have him up at the big club within the next couple weeks.
Here at Saltalamacchia sitting with Beltre. Ortiz hits it on the line, but Bautista will move over and take the catch.
Maybe when the Blue Jays go to Boston, I think it's the 19th or 20th of August, we might see Carlos Delgado again.
Yeah, it'll be a Friday night game on the 20th, the weekend series, and Delgado might be with the club by then if his rehab continues to go well. Jared Saltalamacchia was acquired by the Red Sox on July 31st from the Texas Rangers, and he's going right to the right spot. Go talk to the professor, Jason Varitek. He is the man when it comes to calling games and handling the pitching staff.
He's on a different level, isn't he?
Yeah.
When you're talking about setting up hitters and using your pitcher's strengths.
Yeah, he doesn't have a master's degree. He has a doctorate. Saltalamacchia obviously trying to get up to speed. He wasn't with the team until July 31st.
We saw him on opening day with the Texas Rangers.
He was a highly touted prospect in the Braves organization, a switch-hitting catcher. This ball is lined center field. Vernon Wells gets back to toe. Looks like it's all right. He got a great jump on that ball. A 3-up, 3-down third inning. Blue Jays trailing by a run.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful evening in Toronto. Boston Red Sox are in town. A lot of Red Sox fans have made the trip north they always travel very well. No matter where you see the Boston Red Sox on the road, there are a lot of Boston fans there.
Certainly in the hotels, everywhere here in Toronto. They love coming up here and watching their Sox.
Edwin Encarnacion, the third baseman, will lead things off. Just the fourth at bat for Encarnacion against Clay Buchholz. He's 0-4. Impressive average over his last 20 games. That's boosted his season average to 246.
He is just so strong. I asked him about, what's going on with you right now, and he said, I feel really good that I'm keeping my front shoulder in. The game has slowed down enough that I don't have to feel like I can fly out there and have to hit everything 9 miles to make an impression. You keep that front shoulder in there long enough, your average is going to go up.
Big curveball missed the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's all about physics, really. If you think about it, if your body moves, your head's going to move with it. The ball then appears to move even more dramatically than it does.
It's all connected. The lower half connected to the upper half.
Pulled foul. Brian Butterfield can't make a play on it. I think he kind of backed off that one.
I don't think he wanted to make a play on that.
He could have made that play. Come on, Butter.
Can you get a little deeper?
2 balls and 2 strikes. Right back up the middle. Bill Hall is there behind second and makes the play.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
J.P. Arencibia got behind the plate again tonight. Arencibia had a little quieter night in his second game. He was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts last night. Goes after the first pitch changeup.
He's got plenty of bat speed for a big, strong right-handed batter. He was talking the other day when he came up that he felt like Chad Mottola has been a big part of his success. Mottola is the hitting coach in AAA Las Vegas. Says he can talk to him, and he says he's taught him so much about the little things about the game of baseball.
A ball and a strike. 1 out here. Bottom of the 3rd inning. The ball is lifted into center field. Ellsbury with great speed comes into shallow center and makes the catch. 2 outs.
If you're willing to listen, you can learn so much about this game so quickly. I was standing around the batting cage with Arencibia, and I said, how important has Jose Molina have been to you for the couple of days that you've been here? And he says he's been huge. He knows so much about the game. We got a shot of him sitting next to John Buck in last night's game. So a young player, that's good to see, willing to listen and learn as much as you can.
Travis Snyder leading off tonight. It's a rocket. Look out, folks. Travis Snyder is squaring the ball up pretty consistently lately.
That was about a 300-foot line drive. That was pulled foul. So strong. You want to talk about a young player who wants to get better and who's willing to listen and learn. There's one right there, just 22 years old.
A lot of major league hitting coaches like to use 1,500 at bats as the barometer for telling where a hitter is. Travis has just about 1,300 at bats under his belt. And when you think about it, 1,500 at bats basically represents 3 full seasons. So you have a chance to get over the rookie year,
Professional at bats, you're talking, not major league at bats.
Major league at bats.
Major league at bats.
In the big leagues, where you have a chance to have a rookie year, sophomore slump, and the readjustment year.
Okay, there it is.
And then you really find out what you have. It takes that long for a hitter to get comfortable. Snyder strikes out a 1-2-3 inning for Clay Buchholz. After 3 innings, we are in a 2-1 game.
After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases. You can get tickets at 416-341-1234, bluejays.com/tickets, or most Rogers Plus locations. Jason Diplock, the VP of ticket sales, says since the All-Star break, inbound phone call volume has gone up. Ticket sales as far as the walk-ups and the online have gone up, so get here early tomorrow.
Should be a great afternoon. Game time, 12:30 tomorrow here at Rogers Center. The series finale between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, and a chance to run around the bases. Mike Lowell had the bases loaded walk in the first, picked up the RBI. He had 2 RBI in last night's game with a home run and a sac fly. It's jammed on this one, and Vernon Wells not going to make a play. Takes it on the short hop. Lowell reaches with a little flare into center.
Walked his first time up to drive in the game's first run, and then dumps the ball right in front of Vernon Wells, playing deep. And there's the short hop, clearly hitting the ground. Just the second hit for the Red Sox tonight.
Look at Overbay and Lowell having a little laugh about that base hit. He said, I've been trying to get base hits like that all year long, and you come back and you're just getting them every time you get up. A home run and a bloop in this series. Perfect combination. The rookie Ryan Kalish struck out in his first at bat tonight.
Terry Francona was talking about this young player the other day when they brought him up, hoping that he would provide a little bit of a spark for him. He's got some good speed, picked up a stolen base a couple of days ago in Yankee Stadium. Came up with a knock last night.
Has a good look at that outside fastball. It's a ball and a strike. Kalish just 22 years old. Same as Travis Snyder. And after the curveball. Kalish was a 9th round pick in 2006 out of high school. So he is taking a normal progression through the minor league system. Last year played at Double-A. Just off the plate, 2-2.
He led their minor leaguers last year with 84 runs scored and 231 total bases. Also has a very good eye. 68 walks last year.
Broken bat grounder, gloved by Overbay. They get the runner at second, but nothing more. A lot of things going on that play. The barrel of the bat ends up past the baseline towards second base. Overbay had to avoid the barrel of the bat, get around the base runner, and then glove the ball all in one action.
And anytime you can glove that, as you see him throw the ball right in front of the barrel. There, anytime you can cut that ball off and get that lead runner, that's your main job. Stretches out nicely and makes a concentrated throw to second base to get that lead runner.
No chance at all for the return throw to first. So now Bill Hall will bat. He homered in his first at bat. A long drive into the seats in left. Kalish is a threat to run at first. Markham's got a quick move and chases him back.
He does a good job of holding base runners, Sean Markham. This year he's given up just 4 stolen bases in 9 attempts all season long because he varies his moves towards home. He's very quick using that slide step when there are runners on first base. His pickoff move is pretty good for a right-hander.
Yeah, he's quick. And he's very athletic. Obviously, can make that quick snap throw to first base. Taylor's had 25 steals in 78 games between AA and AAA this year.
Good steal percentages also while he was in the minor leagues. Coming into this year, he had stolen 60 bases and been thrown out just 13 times his times in the minor league. Maybe a chance for J.P. Arencibia to get another base runner.
Arencibia threw out Jacoby Ellsbury in last night's game. Let's look back to the home run off the bat of Bill Hall.
That was leading off the second inning. Looked like an off-speed pitch from Sean Markham. And since that at bat, it looks like Markham's starting to use his fastball just a little bit more, making the adjustment to these Red Sox hitters. That base hit by Lowell, the first hit since that home run.
Markham and Arencibia continue to take a while to get their heads together. And this, again, is a challenge that I can relate to with J.P. Arencibia, because Markham can do so many things to attack the strike zone. Good strong throw by Arencibia.
Good heads-up play from Arencibia and Lyle Overbay. That's one of those, hey, if I throw it there, just be there. It looked like Overbay caught the ball and got his glove down, but it got him right above the wrist as Kalish scrambles to get back to the bag. He almost got that right hand stuck in the dirt and was picked off. But as a catcher, you just throw that ball into your first baseman, you make eye contact, and he'll be there for you.
Change up, fouled off his foot.
You were talking about the catcher, Arencibia, having trouble with his pitcher, that this would be a challenge for him. Does it have to do more with Sean Markham's ability to do things with the baseball, or the Boston Red Sox type of hitters, knowing their weaknesses?
Now, I don't worry so much about the weaknesses of the hitter. I just want to try to do what's best for Markham, and that's the challenge, because Markham goes out of the box. He doesn't necessarily pitch the way you should pitch, and he can cut the ball, sink the ball, throw change-ups to both sides of the plate, and he has a clear picture in his mind of what he wants to do. I think the true definition of a catcher calling a great game is simply thinking along with his pitcher. Not that you're exploiting the weaknesses of the batter, but you're putting in putting the pitcher in the best spot to have success.
And if you've never caught him before, how do you know?
Yeah, and just it's a matter of experience. And I mean, just think how long John Buck struggled catching this team this year, and how well he has done since that first month. There goes Kalish, fouled off by Hall.
But what I like about Markham, and I think what makes him unique, I guess you could say that about a lot of the starters on this staff, is they do think out of the box. They're not afraid to double up and sometimes triple up on all their pitches. They're not afraid to throw 3 straight changeups if they have to, or 3 straight cutters, or double up on a fastball in the inner half. Constantly changing and making the hitters think about what they're trying to do to them.
Another full count pitch, 1 out. Ryan Kalish was running on the last pitch. There he goes again. Drilled to left field again, and this is another home run. Bill Hall has done it again. A 2-run home run, his second of the night. He has 15 for the season.
Pitch was 83 miles an hour. So it was probably another changeup that Bill Hall got to. Sped his bat up. Watch how he stays back. He hits again from an open stance, and he loads up on that back half. Doesn't have to take a full swing when you've got the strength that he has. And he muscles that ball out of the ballpark for a home run.
Both home runs coming on full count pitches, and Hall had a lot of pitches that he saw in both of those at bats. That's the 10th time that the Red Sox have had a hitter with home runs in a game. Jacoby Ellsbury skies it down the right field line. Bautista over near the wall, but he'll run out of room. 10 2-run home runs by a Red Sox hitter before Hall does it. Now they have 11. The 4th career 2-homer game for Bill Hall has given the Red Sox a 4-1 lead. Jacoby Ellsbury looks at a called 3rd strike. 2 outs in the inning.
That's where he's got to cross him up, which he did. Threw him a fastball that time, and he took it for the strikeout. He'll backdoor you with a cutter at times. That's what that looked like right on the corner. 3rd strikeout of the night for Sean Markham.
So it's back to the top of the order. Marco Scudero looking for his first hit of the series. Swings on the first pitch and lifts it into center. Vernon Wells is there, but the Red Sox add to their lead. It's the Bill Hall show early in this ball game. He's homered twice, driven in 3 runs. He now has 15 homers for the season. Red Sox lead it 4-1.
Fourth inning, someone will win a 40-inch Sharp Aquos Quatron TV Plus Blu-ray player. Quatron, it's 4 colors, not 3. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. That's hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Blue Jays facing Clay Buchholz here. Yunel Escobar drives it up the middle, base hit. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Yunel Escobar took his 3rd English lesson today, as provided by the Toronto Blue Jays, and trying to get him acclimated here with his teammates, and that will be something that will happen twice a week while here at home throughout the remainder of the season.
It's so important for Escobar to get acclimated and learn the language. His best friend, Brian Pena, played for the Royals. They played as kids together in Cuba. And Pena taught himself how to read English, reading the SAP closed caption on the TV. He put the English up and just figured out the sound and the words, and he speaks beautiful English. But to his credit, Yunel Escobar has agreed to 45-minute English class twice a week. That's awesome.
His first one was on Friday, 2 o'clock.
Jose Bautista lays off that high fastball.
He is always having fun when he is out on that diamond.
And why wouldn't you? You've played with guys that really played with a sense of joy. 2 of the best I can remember, Robin Yount and George Brett. Nobody had more fun than them.
Those 2. Julio Franco played with a lot of flair and a lot of excitement, just happy to be out there, a lot like Escobar, and that's who he reminds me of. A young Julio Franco who was very animated when he made errors, when he did well, and he could pull with the best of them.
Bautista wasn't thinking about a soft single to right.
Does he ever think of those little flares? He is right on top of that plate.
Well, you mentioned Franco, and I played with Brett and Yount, and they truly had a lot of fun. I mean, they played the game with the passion and the enthusiasm of a 15-year-old. Just right to the last day of their career.
Rubs off on everybody.
A ball and a strike. Change up. Well, Bautista has really come along as a hitter. He is second in the American League to Derek Barton in walks. And, you know, he really struggled with the batting average early in the season, but now he is patient, he's selective, shows a good eye at the plate.
I love your analogy of Jose Bautista. His career path resembles Raul Ibanez. A chance to finally play.
Neither of them got an opportunity early in their career to play every day. So their bodies are fresher than you might think for a regular 29-year-old that's played every day. 3 balls and a strike. Got underneath it. Skied it to center. Bill Hall, now Ellsbury calls him off, and Bautista's retired.
Sometimes all it takes is a chance to play every day. And players who have been around here and they've been on this organization, it just didn't fit. But since Jose Bautista got here, it has fit for him.
Well, and it might not have happened had Scott Rowland not been dealt away, and it created an opportunity. Outfield, little third base, move all over the diamond, and all of a sudden the at-bats started to become more consistent.
And what a September he had last year.
Vernon Wells lays off the inside fastball. Wells missed last night's game. He dislocated his toe, slamming into the fence during Sunday's game, catching a ball off the bat of Ben Zobrist. Red Sox lead at 4-1. Bill Hall has driven in 3 of the 4 runs with a pair of home runs. hitters continue to be very selective, as both pitchers haven't had the benefit of a wide strike zone.
And they haven't had their great command. So the guy, Clay Buchholz, over his last 13 starts, has allowed more than 3 runs just once. So you know he's got good command. But tonight, fighting it a little bit.
Now, that happens too. You make a couple of good pitches, you think they're on the corner, and all of a sudden now you think you've got to be a little bit better, and you go out of your delivery. Vernon Wells with the count in his favor. 3 balls and no strikes. Taking all away. Adam Lynn's on deck. He's already had a hit tonight, an infield chopper to the second baseman. He homered and doubled in last night's game. Bounced over the mound. Bill Hall swipes at Escobar, gets him, and then throws to first to get Wells. Bill Hall's having a night with the bat and in the field. He came on and got that ball in the baseline, tagged Escobar before he got to second. Here's the tag. Escobar's out. The throw to first. Wells doubled up. Red Sox lead it 4-1.
Celebrating the 20th anniversary of Dave Steep's no-hitter versus the Cleveland Indians. Come out to the ballpark Sunday, August 29th. Jays and Tigers at 107. First 10,000 fans will receive a Dave Steep bobblehead. 416-341-1234. BlueJays.com or most Rogers Plus locations for tickets to that game.
Dave Steep, one of the great pitchers in the history of this franchise. With the no-hitter against the Cleveland Indians.
Nasty. I hated facing that guy.
I don't remember ever seeing anybody that had a better slider than Dave Steep. There's a long drive off the bat of J.D. Drew. He's gone deep again into the second deck. Third home run of the night for the Red Sox. Drew with his 14th.
And he has easy power. It's an easy swing from J.D. Drew. He'll wait and wait and wait for that pitcher to elevate a pitch. And when he does, he doesn't overswing, but he's got great hand-eye coordination and he connects solidly. Watch where this pitch is. It's up. That is not an overexertion in his swing. He's just got great hands and great natural power. There's no doubt about that one as it lands in the second deck.
Boy, you're right. That is easy power. That bat just flew through the zone. Body stayed quiet and he just used his hands. Red Sox have hit 3 home runs tonight. They have taken a 5-1 lead. Curveball missed the outside corner. There's a changeup on a 2-0 pitch.
That was a good one. That first inning, I'm thinking about Markham in that first inning with the 3 base on balls and a hit batter. I mean, he's had great command all season long. Nearly 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. So what we saw in the first inning was not the Markham we all know.
Left-hander Brian Talent starts to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen.
I think the Red Sox batters made an effort. They said, you know what, this is how we're going to attack Sean Martin. We're going to just sit all over that changeup. And it has forced him to throw more fastballs. And when he elevates it, they have made him pay. Martinez with his first hit of the night. Keeps his hitting streak alive now. It's a good, solid approach.
Now Martinez is aboard with nobody out. Bruce Walton will come out to the mound and have a chat with Sean Markham. Also gives Brian Talent a little more time to get loose. Very simple approach. Bruce Walton is matter of fact. That ball was up. You get the ball down, you get a round ball, and J.D. Drew keeps it in the ballpark. And so let's make some good pitches here. Get your ground ball, get a double play.
Something as simple as that. Get the ball down. But it's always positive reinforcement whenever he goes to the mound.
There's enough negative built into the game. David Ortiz has walked and lined out. And singles to right. Jumps on the first pitch. Martinez will stop at second. First and second, still nobody out. The Red Sox have won 8 of the first 10 games between these two clubs this year. When you look at the Blue Jays against the rest of the division, they're 23-10 against the American League East. Everybody except the Red Sox.
There's something about them that they bring the best out of the Boston Red Sox. 6 of those 8 wins have been by 1 or 2 runs this year. They have made pitches when they've had to. They've picked up big base hits when they've had to. And there's the season series. 337 with runners in scoring position. Blue Jays coming into this game had out-homered the Boston Red Sox, but have lost 8 of 10.
Beltre with a big swing chased the changeup. He got hit on the hand on a 3-2 inside fastball back in the first. He also lined Vernon Wells in center. Red Sox have scored a run here in the 5th. Red Sox have made Markham throw a lot of pitches.
36 of them in the first inning. And he is closing in on 100 now as we play in the 5th inning.
Driven to right field. Bautista on the run. Bautista on the track at the wall. Home run, Adrian Beltre. His 21st of the season, a 3-run shot to right.
What a year Adrian Beltre is having for the Boston Red Sox. His first season with Boston. Signed as a free agent. Power the other way. Extension all the way through that ball. Beltre with home run number 21, RBIs 77, 78, and 79. And that home run has blown open this game.
Well, Sean Markham turns the baseball over to the manager, who will pass it on to Brian Talent. He leaves after 4+ here and giving up 4 home runs. He trails 8-1. It'll be Brian Talent when we return. There's a strike, 1-1. Talent last pitched against Tampa Bay. Came in that game on Saturday. His 21st appearance of the season.
The long man out of the bullpen for Cito Gaston. His career high. Longest outing in his career, 5 innings coming out of the bullpen. They need some length tonight as we're just in the 5th inning. He has made 5 starts for the Blue Jays this year.
He's in the rotation coming out of spring training.
Dealt against Texas in that first series down in Arlington.
There's another drive to the gap in right center. Vernon Wells, Bautista, they won't get it. It bounces off the wall. Vernon Wells gets it. Mike Lowell jogs into second with a double. 5 straight hits for the Red Sox here in the 5th.
3 of them for extra bases. Mike Lowell, what a series he is putting together now. A walk, a single, and now this. A pitch that is up and out over the plate, just out of the reach of Jose Bautista. Backed up nicely by Wells. Mike Lowell has come up with some big hits already, and we're only in the 2nd game of this series.
Ryan Kalish, the left fielder, lays off the outside heater. Ball is popped up back behind home plate. Kalish hit his first major league home run Friday at New York against the Yankees. A 2-run home run came off Javier Vasquez.
Red Sox have always done a great job of scouting and developing some good young hitters. I mean, for years and years, they've been able to find good ones.
Bounce up the first baseline. Talent will get it, shovel it in time to get over there. Boy, what a play by Brian Talbot. The only chance he had was to use his glove and flip it all in one motion.
Yeah, just shovel it over to Overbay. We've talked about Kalish. He's got some spark in him and he can run. Gets out of the box, and this is going to be bang, bang. Talbot nicely shovels it off over to Overbay. This is a tough play for the first baseman because you're not real sure where that ball's going to go once it's out of that glove, but stays right with it for the first out. Now the infield's got to come in. They cannot afford to give up any more runs to the Red Sox.
Bill Hall. 2 homers already tonight. He's driven in 3 runs. His 4th career 2 home run game. Lowell at third. Infield in. Base hit. Wells trying to cut it off. Lowell comes in to score, and Bill Hall has driven in 4. It's 9-1 Red Sox.
Bill Hall looks like he is locked in right now. A couple of home runs and then a laser against the lefty. Drives in another run.
So the number 9 hitter, Jacoby Ellsbury, with 1 out. Takes the first pitch strike. Ellsbury's 0 for 2. A ball on the strike. Fly ball left field. Snyder backs up. Now comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. Ellsbury's 0 for 3. The Red Sox in the second stop of their 3-city road trip. They split the 4 games against the Yankees in New York. They won the first game here. They'll go on to Texas after finishing up here tomorrow afternoon.
Play the Rangers over the weekend. And then when they get back to Fenway Park, they might have a new second baseman. Doesn't mean Bill Hall's not going to come out of line the way he's swinging the bat. He'll probably play somewhere else. But Dustin Pedroia is supposed to come off the DL. They're thinking maybe next Tuesday. Getting healthy.
Kevin Cash to his left just went on the disabled list. Big swing and a miss from Scudero. The Red Sox at the start of play tonight trailing the Yankees by 5. They are 4.5 back of Tampa Bay. And you know the Red Sox are keeping their mouths quiet, saying this just kind of don't wake anybody up. But they are well within striking distance.
They will play the New York Yankees 6 times over the last 10 games of the season. Yeah, you know, they're just kind of laying in the weeds right now. Everybody, the focus is on Tampa and New York, but the Boston Red Sox just laying back a little bit.
The Yankees have a very challenging last 3 weeks of the season. 19 of the last 22 games for the Yankees are against Texas, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston.
Wow.
19 of 22. A ball and 2 strikes. Scudero lays off the outside pitch. David Ortiz got off to a slow start. He's bounced back. They've had to make trades. John Lackey's been a very solid free agent pitcher for them in his first year with Boston. And Mike Lowell's healthy again.
It has something to prove.
How about that? I mean, he was just about ready to be cast off. And then the season-ending injury to Kevin Youkilis. Darnell McDonald, what a job he's done. I mean, nobody even talks about him, but boy, he was carrying the team offensively for a while. This is skied left side of the infield. Encarnacion coming down from the third, now in foul ground next to catch. The inning is finally over, but the Red Sox send 9 men to the plate. J.D. Drew got it started. A solo shot, his 14th. Adrian Beltre, a 3-run homer to right, his 21st. It's 9.
Rogers Sportsnet 1 will launch. It's a new sports channel with 25 Jays games, MLB, Raptors, and so much more. Rogers Sportsnet 1 coming your way August 14th.
This Saturday when the Jays are out in Anaheim taking on the Angels. Blue Jays got some work to do. They trail by 8 as they bat in the bottom of the 5th.
Haven't been able to figure out what Clay Buchholz has been doing tonight. He's only given up 2 hits. One of them to this man standing at the plate, Adam Lind.
Buchholz will turn 26 on the 14th of this month. Early in his career's kind of roller coaster ride, he was back and forth between the big leagues and AAA. Threw a no-hitter in his second big league appearance. No hit to the Orioles back in 2007. There's a base hit into center field. Adam Lind around first. Ellsbury cuts it off, and no reason to gamble here when you trail by 8. Pair of hits for Adam Lind tonight.
Starting to square it up with more regularity. Got the infield single that time. Rifles one through the infield. Buchholz had to make some adjustments after he came up and threw that no-hitter.
Yeah, he was pretty much a 4-seam fastball, big curveball guy, and that curveball doesn't get called that often for a strike. So he started sinking the ball, developed a changeup. Now he's cutting the fastball. But you can see his stuff. He's legit.
He had a reputation as being the top of the end rotation type of guy, but it took him a little bit of time to get here. He burst onto the scene with that no-hitter like you were talking about, but then had to go back to the minor leagues and I don't want to say reinvented himself, but really harness his great stuff with a little bit more consistency. Confidence played a big part in that role of where he is today.
That's not unlike the Roy Halladay situation. Halladay came up and made his first start in his ballpark and took a no-hitter into the ninth. And then he too went back and, being a starter, we talk about this all the time, being an everyday successful starter in the big leagues might be the most difficult thing to do in the major leagues. To have success and shut down big league hitters in a consistent fashion.
unless you have outstanding stuff where you can just blow it by guys.
That fly ball is medium in center field. Ellsbury there.
I think starting pitchers have to make those adjustments over and over and over again. Again, unless you're someone who could just blow the ball by hitters.
But even Randy Johnson, who could blow the ball by hitters, made a lot of adjustments throughout his career. He developed an off-speed pitch, little splitter, and threw a slider much better.
Roger Clemens comes to mind. I mean, his stuff was outstanding.
And then he developed the splitter, and it took him to a totally different level. But I really admire successful starting pitchers, guys like Glavine and Maddox and Andy Pettit, guys that have done it year in and year out, and almost locked in for 15 wins a season. Overbay pops it out of play. I mean, we get so enamored with a flash in the pan. Guy comes up and does it for a couple weeks, has a couple of good months, but it's the guys year in and year out, like the Jake Peavy, the veterans like Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, where you can just pencil in and say, well, he's going to win 15 to 20 games. Mike Messina.
Josh Johnson.
Yeah, guys that you can count on. And Buchholz got a chance to be one of those guys.
I totally agree with that. He's got 4 or 5 pitches that he can use at any time. You see he's not falling into any patterns tonight, even though he's up 9-1. He's using all of his pitches.
Overbay slices it down the left field line, but that is out of play. Sean Markham's got 10 wins. I mean, he's got a chance to be one of those guys as well that'll go out there and he won't dominate hitters like a power pitcher, but he'll give his team a chance to win. He could win 12 to 18 games a season. Brandon Morrow, maybe a little up.
Yeah, his upside a lot higher just because of the sheer stuff that comes out of his arm.
Ricky Romero. I mean, these guys got a chance to develop into a pretty consistent starting staff. Foul tip, a very delayed call by Greg Gibson. But no argument from Lyle Overbay, kind of shaking his head in disbelief as he heads back to the dugout.
Looked like a pretty good pitch also from Buchholz. You were talking about him sinking the ball more. Here's that pitch right at the hip of a left-handed batter. Greg Gibson calls that is a foul tip on the check swing by Overbay. Just the second strikeout tonight by Clay Buchholz.
Two outs here in the fifth. Buchholz pitching with a comfortable lead. Edwin Encarnacion. Big swing and a foul straight back to the screen. Sean Markham had a rough night. He really got off to a tough start. 3 walks and a hit batter in the first inning, but he minimized the damage, allowing just 1 run. But over the course of the night, he surrendered 4 home runs. That sets a new career high in home runs allowed. No balls and a strike to the Blue Jays' third baseman. There's that big breaking curveball. It rarely gets called. It's just too big, and umpires don't see it that frequently. And it's a hard pitch to get called for a strike.
What you're trying to do with that big curveball is to get him to swing at it. You're changing the eye level of the hitter. You're changing the plane that they're looking at, and you're trying to get him to swing at it.
Two balls and a strike. Buchholz still has a lot of fastball. Fly ball into center field, and the shortstop will get back and make the pitch. It's Marco Scudero to retire Encarnacion. Clay Buchholz has completed 5. His team is up by 8.
Road trip with the Jays. Win a trip for you and 3 friends to see the Jays take on the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. Prize includes airfare, hotel accommodations, $1,000 in spending money, and a meet and greet on the field. To enter, visit BlueJays.com. The contest closes Monday, August 16th.
Great opportunity if you've not been to Fenway Park, one of the best baseball parks in all of the major leagues. Chance to see your hometown Blue Jays take on the Red Sox at Fenway. Brian Talla jumps ahead of J.D. Drew. Drew's walked, struck out, and homered in his 3 trips to the plate. He had a home run in last night's game as well. I love the way J.D. Drew taps his bat to his shoulder. It's almost as if it's just a reminder that his hands are in the right spot. Been doing this since he got to the big leagues. Came out of Florida State as one of the top collegiate baseball players ever to play the game. He was originally drafted by Philadelphia and didn't sign with them. Went and played independent ball.
He was one of the first guys to do that, to go play for the St. Paul Saints in independent baseball and then re-enter the draft.
Sat out for a whole year, played independent ball. One of his teammates, Jason Veritek, did the same thing. He was originally drafted by the Minnesota Twins out of Georgia Tech. Went back into the draft and was eventually drafted by the Mariners. 3-1.
How about that steal by the Boston Red Sox?
Boston Red Sox picked up Jason Veritek and Derek Lowe in a trade with the Seattle Mariners for Heathcliff Slocum.
Wow. And both of them still playing.
Lowe pitching for the Atlanta Braves, had a terrific major league career. And they both did exactly what the Red Sox hoped they would do. They helped the Red Sox win their first World Series in a number of years, 2004. Skied to the outfield. Vernon Wells coming in from center field has a long run that makes the catch.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
We were just talking about trades and how the Boston Red Sox stole a couple of great players from other organizations. What does it take for organizations to be able to do that? It seems like there are some organizations who just have a knack of stealing other players. Blue Jays for years were able to do that. Does it take good scouts?
It takes a couple of things. First, you have to have an inventory, and the Blue Jays had an inventory of a lot of good minor league players, so they could go out and get key players when they needed them. Make trades like Yunel Escobar for Alex Gonzalez, and they got younger, 6 years younger at shortstop, and arguably much more athletic. I think the real problem is organizations don't know their own talent well enough. And that's the problem. That's when you give up on a guy like Jose Bautista before you ever give him a chance to play. How about Brandon Morrow?
Oh.
I'm sorry, but that was the #1 pick of the Seattle Mariners.
And not too long ago.
Yeah, and they didn't even give them themselves a chance to evaluate just exactly what Morrow does. And I'm sorry, and no disrespect to Brandon League, but you traded a middle reliever for Brandon Morrow?
A young starter with good stuff and the willingness to learn.
That is the problem. You have to know your own talent. If you don't know your organization, you'll get fleeced. Look at the Texas Rangers deal that they made with the Atlanta Braves for Mark Teixeira. They got 2 minor leaguers out of A-ball. And everybody's going, what do you want with those A-ball guys? It's a 5-player deal. You pick up Saltalamacchia in the deal, and you get a couple other guys, a couple of major league ready guys. But the 2 guys in A-ball, Neftali Feliz and Elvis Andrews.
Both of them
both went to the All-Star game. But that's how you make good trades. Good off-speed pitch, and Talent strikes out Victor Martinez. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th.
And scouting has to be a big part of that. And I think the Blue Jays are starting to get back to that, where they've got great scouts and finding other organizations where they might not fit in that organization, but they certainly will fit over here.
Yeah, you have to have imagination. Here's another guy that was let go by the Minnesota Twins. They thought that he had a hole in his batting stance that couldn't be covered up. Terry Ryan, the former general manager of the Minnesota Twins, said it was the worst decision he ever made in his baseball career. But again, gets back to not knowing what you have.
Well, they wanted to make him a singles hitter. I remember watching him in BP one day when he was with the Minnesota Twins, and they were telling him, hey, hit the ball the other way. You need to hit the ball the other way. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. That's not his game.
And he wasn't the first. The Twins weren't the first organization that messed up on him. He was with the Seattle Mariners as well. But you have to allow yourself to get a very good look at your players. And if you don't know what you have, you're going to get fleeced.
And if you overrate players from other organizations, for years there were organizations that, oh boy, we got to get some Atlanta Braves. You know, the Yankees are filled with prospects, and they end up going somewhere else. They don't do anything.
And be wary of the Atlanta Braves if you make trades to pick up pitching from them. There's another high fly ball deep to right center, but Vernon Wells is calling for it. Short of the warning track and makes the catch. Brian Talent has a 1-2-3 6th inning. But the Blue Jays still trailed 9-1. We'll wrap up a 3-game series. The game starts tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. Pitchers in that game scheduled to be John Lackey, the big right-hander for Boston, against left-hander Brad Mills. Aaron Sabia hits it sharply, but into the glove of the third baseman, Adrian Beltre. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th.
He's unique at third base. When he catches the ball, he almost comes to a stop and throws flat-footed. But it's strong and it's very accurate.
He was part of one of the best infield defenses in the National League when he was the third baseman for the Dodgers.
For Cole, is he there? No.
Cesar Astures.
Oh, won a Gold Glove.
Alex Cora.
Yeah.
And Sean Green. Very good infield defense. Cesar Astures has a Gold Glove.
You better have a good inner defense on that field. Whew, rock hard, baby.
Remember when we were kids, that was a crushed brick infield. A distinctively red infield. Hard-baked Darnell McDonald comes in defensively, takes over in right field for J.D. Drew. And we talked about what a job Darnell McDonald did. He came up when there were a rash of injuries, and he really did a great job filling in.
Buchholz, I think the key for a young pitcher. Do they get better as the game goes along? Look at his numbers. First time, second, and then third time through the lineup. This is the third time now the Blue Jays are getting a look at Clay Buchholz tonight. Get stronger as the game goes along. And his pitches get into the 60 range. His batters are hitting 200 against him.
Field down to Brian Knight at third is denied. Travis Snyder has hit the ball sharply tonight in his first at bat. Hit it right at the first baseman Mike Lowell, and Lowell was charged with an error. Strike three called on the corner. Snyder is down here in the sixth, 2 outs.
Cut it to the outside corner to the left-hander. Victor Martinez sitting right on the outside corner. Doesn't even move the glove. Buchholz hits it. You can see why he gets so tough as he goes through the game. Gets stronger.
And that's the point I was speaking to earlier in the game, how starters have to be aware of what's gone on and make changes as the game progresses. Junel Escobar takes a first pitch strike. There's a curveball called for a strike. It's a nasty pitch.
To a right-hander, that thing looks like it's going to be about at your neck. And you freeze for just a second. And that's all you need as that thing bends over the plate.
Came right back with it. 0-2. A lot of late movement on that fastball at 95. It was well off the plate and then worked its way near the outside corner.
It's one of the pitches that he has been working on. Something that he has added to sink that fastball, cut it a little bit more.
Inside. 2-2 to Junel Escobar. We're in the sixth inning. Red Sox scored single runs in the first and second, 2 in the fourth, and a big 5-run fifth inning. Change up. Escobar lays off. Two pitches found out of play. Blue Jays certainly have enough firepower to get back in this ball game, but you got to work your way on. You got to get some base runners on.
He's just not doing that. Not giving up the base runners. He's making pitches when he has to, putting away hitters. The only run they scored was an unearned run in the first inning.
And when he needs it, Buchholz has 96 in reserve. Travis Snyder reached on that first inning air, moved up on the sacrifice bunt, went to third on a pass ball, and scored on a sac fly. There's a 2-out walk to Escobar.
Home runs have been such a big part of what the Blue Jays have done this year. They are on a record pace. They're sitting at 178. projected to get to 257, which would shatter the record that they set back in 2000 when they hit 244. That would still be a little bit shy of the big league record set by the Seattle Mariners.
Jose Bautista takes the first pitch strike. Bautista had the RBI in the first. He had a sac fly to right field. And Jose would love to hit it there. Bends back from that curveball and takes it for a strike. Boy, Buchholz done a good job of staying ahead all night long.
He was ahead of Escobar and then lost him. Pretty good at bat by Junel. Now Bautista's got a battle. He's got so many different weapons that he can use to put you away. When he is on, you get more ground ball outs than fly ball outs. I think that has a lot to do with his curveball and his good changeup.
Hit sharply, but gloved by Beltre, who goes to second for the force out. Trey Buchholz in total command. He's allowed just 1 run on 3 hits through 6 innings. Of the game presented by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Red Sox score single runs in the first and second. One of them a home run by Bill Hall, but this is his second at bat in the 4th inning. He reaches Sean Markham, an off-speed pitch for his second home run of the game, making it 4-1. They would go on to add 5 more, and that's where we sit.
Visit BlueJays.com/Burger King to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Super Fan Contest. And Bill Hall has put on a show tonight. He has driven home 4. He has 3 hits, a pair of home runs, and he made a fine double play in the 4th inning. Casey Jansen is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays here in the 7th inning.
4-0 with a 393 earned run average. The last time we saw Jansen was 4 days ago against Tampa. That 17-11 game, ready to come in and finish it off.
Beltre skips 1 run underneath the feet of Casey Jansen. Beltre's second hit of the night. Red Sox now have 10 hits.
Beltre looking pretty comfortable. I don't think he wants to leave this game. Hit a 3-run homer his last time up, and then whistles one up the middle for another base hit. Terry Francona set on a pinch runner. He didn't want to come out.
12:30 game tomorrow. Get some of these regulars off their feet. Eric Patterson comes on to pinch run. J.D. Drew's already left the game. Now Beltre reluctantly leaves the game. Mike Lowell, 2 for 2 with a walk. He's driven in a run and scored a run. Has another hit into center field. Patterson around second. He'll stop there as Wells gets it back to the infield. Red Sox got their hitting shoes on tonight.
Certainly do. Mike Lowell now reaches base for the 4th time tonight. A walk and 3 hits. All of them solid. After the game last night, he pretty much came out and said, I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder. I want to prove some people wrong who are thinking about getting rid of me.
That's not a bad thing. Everybody benefits. Brian Kalish, 0 for 3 tonight. Goes after the curveball from Casey Jansen. It is funny how things work out. The Red Sox were anxious to trade Mike Lowell early in the season, see if they could find a trade partner. Give him a chance to play every day. His at-bats were very limited with Beltre at third, Buchholz at first, and Ortiz the DH.
They actually had him traded to Texas, didn't they?
There was some speculation that deal was done and just kind of fell through. At that point, that was in the off season, I think.
Yeah,
had a thumb problem. They did an examination, found an injury in his thumb. He eventually had surgery.
Now waved off the trade.
But now Kevin Buchholz is gone for the season. He tore a muscle off the bone in his thumb.
He's just a pro. Just knows how to play the game. Knows that day games after night games, Victor Martinez would probably play first base to get him out from behind the plate. It'd be tough to take him out of the lineup tomorrow the way he's swinging the bat. And a left-hander on the mound.
And do you take David Ortiz and give him a day off?
Decisions.
There was a time when Terry Francona didn't have enough players to fill out a lineup. 3 balls and a strike to Ryan Kalish. Fouled off. The Yankees lost to Texas last night 4-3 in 10 innings. Javier Vasquez against that big left-hander Cliff Lee. That's tonight's game. Encarnacion to Hill at second, and that's all they can get.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Well, it's been Bill Hall's night tonight. 3 for 3, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and he's scored 2. He had 1 hit in last night's game.
He's got another chance, Buck, with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs. Fly ball will pick up another RBI for Bill Hall.
The fastball evens a count and a ball on the strike. Hall has had 1 previous 4 RBI game this season. He's not had more than 4 in a game. Ball missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. We're in the 7th inning. It's been all Red Sox. fueled by a 5-run fifth inning. Sean Markham had an off night. The ball is going to drift back into the seats. Bounced foul. You know, I don't say this with any sense that it can't change, but this is J.P. Arancibia's third game in the big leagues. And he caught Ricky Romero last night, who was coming off a 2-hitter. Sean Markham had pitched well of late. But these are complex guys that, you know, it takes a while to get comfortable with. Jose Molina and John Buck had all kinds of problems catching Ricky Romero early in the season.
April and May. It seemed like it took them about 2 months before they became comfortable with what their pitchers did, what they like to use in big situations. Ricky Romero, John Buck said, had some of the nastiest stuff that he had ever caught. Remember, he caught Zach Greinke when he was with Kansas City. He said Ricky Romero's stuff moved more than his. So I'm sure there's going to be a period where young player has to get on the right page.
Swing and a miss by Bill Hall. He goes down for the first time tonight. Casey Jansen picks up his first strikeout. Big, slow breaking ball gets Bill Hall.
A little anxious there with that runner up third base. Less than 2 outs. Jansen with that over the top curveball gets Bill Hall for the first time tonight. It's a learning process.
Well, it sure is. And I think it once again just points out to what a terrific job Molina and Buck have done and how fast the pitchers have developed. And it doesn't mean that JP can't do the same thing.
Oh, no, not at all. But it's a hard job, especially for a young player who is just coming up to the major leagues. I have seen young catcher after young catcher who have been highly touted coming up to the big leagues, and it is a really tough job.
Ground ball to Overbay. He will go to the bag, and Ellsbury is retired. Ellsbury is 0 for 4. Blue Jays will try to get back in this ball game. It'll be Wells, Linden, Hill to bat. Bottom of the 7th. Defensively in center field. Adrian Beltre was pinch run for, and with that, Beltre leaves the ball game, and Jed Lowry takes over defensively at third base.
So keeping score, Jed Lowry goes into Jacoby Ellsbury's spot in the batting order. Lowry moves to third. Patterson. Pitch ran for Beltre. He remains in the game in center field.
Vernon Wells cuts on the first pitch, and wouldn't you know it, Jed Lowry's tested right away, makes an easy play of it. One pitch went out in the seventh. Commentator clothing provided in part by Z Zenia. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. Beautiful night in Toronto. Blue Jays not having an awful lot of fun. They're on the verge of dropping their second straight game to the Red Sox. They trail 9-1 here in the seventh.
Buchholz has been outstanding. As we play in the seventh inning here, he's only thrown 80 pitches so far in this game. He's been in command using all of his pitches.
He's got a career .215 ERA in this ballpark prior to tonight's game. And this can be an intimidating pitcher's ballpark.
Every player that we talk to from the opposition that comes into this ballpark, they talk about what's going on here. Balls are flying out of here. It's a good hitting team.
There's a bullet into center field. Adam Lind is a perfect 3 for 3. He has 3 of the 4 hits given up by Clay Buchholz.
An infield single and a couple of rockets right back through the middle. This field, you talk about players hitting home runs. Where does it rate in baseball? Chase Field in Arizona, #1, giving up 158 in Yankee Stadium. That place all flies out of there. In Great American Small Park in Cincinnati, right behind Rogers Center.
So with 1 out, Aaron Hill back, lays off the changeup. Dustin Pedroia yesterday afternoon at the start of this series was sitting on the bench, and Ryan Kalish, the rookie, was asking him about the ballpark. Kalish said, "Boy, this is a beautiful ballpark." Pedroia says, "Wait till you hit here. You will love it even more." Little pop-up in the right field. Bill Hall on the run. Can't make the play. Gets away from McDonald. Lind will stop at second. It's a base hit for Aaron Hill.
See, I think that was Darnell McDonald's ball all the way. It's an easier play for the outfielder who is coming in, and I think he's telling Bill Hall that as he's coming out. I didn't want to run into you. He is Bill Hall is. This is McDonald's ball, but Hall giving chase to it. See McDonald slow up just a little bit because he didn't want to run into the second baseman. He just olays it as it falls in for a single.
John McDonald has taken over as the pinch runner for Aaron Hill. While Overbay 0 for 2. First and second, 1 out. Overbay takes the fastball up and away. But in Pedroia's conversation with Kalish, he said, "I hit my second big league home run here against A.J. Burnett." And I asked him, "Was it a high fastball?" He goes, "Yeah, it was way up there."
He loves it up there, doesn't he?
Overbay drills it down the left field line. Kalish over near the line, now in fair territory, makes the catch. One ball carried a long way.
Is there anybody in baseball hit the high fastball like Dustin Pedroia?
No. He gets up there, and Cedar Gaston has talked about it often. I mean, Pedroia, what's he, 5'9"? And he goes up there and he'll hit that ball. And Cedar always admires the way that he hits it up there. Doesn't try to get on top of it, just goes up there and hits it where it's at.
Yeah, you can't try and get backspin on a high pitch like that. You've got to stay up there with it and follow through. He just hammers balls up there.
Edwin Encarnacion looking for his first hit in the series. He pops this one up. Shallow left field. Scudero calling for it. Kalish pulls up. A quick inning, couple of hits, but nothing more. Blue Jays strand a couple of base runners. It's all Boston. Toyota. Some night here at Rogers Center. 2 home runs, 3 hits. He's driven home a season high tying 4 RBI. And he made that fine double play at second base. Dwayne Wise comes off the bench to take over defensively for Vernon Wells in center. John McDonald came on as a pinch runner. He takes over for Aaron Hill at second. Casey Jansen in his second inning of relief. Marco Scudero 0 for 4 tonight. He is 0 for 9 in the series. 0-2.
It's been a tough road trip for Scudero so far. Played that 4-game series in New York. He's got a couple of hits against the Yankees. And you mentioned the 0 for 9 here.
Don't you remember making road trips where you'd think ahead to a city, going to Detroit or something like that? I think we might not get many hits.
I certainly did.
For the whole series, yeah.
The one that I remember the most.
There's a bouncing ball to third. Encarnacion throws out Scudero.
Again, this is back in the 80s. Was I dreaded going to Detroit because you would probably get Jack Morris, and then right behind him Dan Petrie, and then right behind him Milt Wilcox.
Nate Rosema.
Yeah,
they had a tough staff.
Tough right-handers that were really hard on me, and you're like, okay, well, that's 0 for 8 to start the series. Certainly, in that ballpark, against that team back in the 80s, very good.
And then if you were going to Milwaukee right after that, you'd have to deal with Pete Vukovich and Mike Caldwell. There's a long drive to center field. Wise on the run, at the track, at the wall, off his glove. It stays in the ballpark. Darnell McDonald around second. He's headed for third. It's a triple for Darnell McDonald. It looked like Dwayne Wise got a glove on it. What a terrific effort.
That would have been a great catch as McDonald doesn't waste any time. First pitch swinging, drives the ball to left center field. Wise is there. It's off his glove, but it stays in the ballpark. What an effort by the center fielder just into the game. Picking up Vernon Wells in this 9-1 game. McDonald plus it all the way for his first triple of the season.
Yes. What an instinctive play by Wise. He got right to there just coming into the game. That's not unlike the catch he made in Burley's perfect game.
It looked just like it. The catch right up against the wall.
Dwayne Wise is a terrific defensive player. You can put him anywhere in the outfield. That's tough coming off the bench. You get tested right off the bat.
You've been sitting around for 2.5 hours watching the game. You try and stay warm, but your legs just don't get loose that quickly. And that was about 4 pitches into this inning. Had a long way to go for that catch. Almost came up with it.
Victor Martinez has extended his hit streak to 8 games. He is 1 for 4. He singled and scored in that 5-run 5th inning. A ball and a strike. Bounced fair just inside the bag. Overbay can't knock it down. It's off the wall. Bautista's got a strong arm. Throw to second base. In time to get Martinez. Victor Martinez drives in the run with a single, but he's thrown out at second base on a strong throw from Jose Bautista.
That's number 10 for an outfield assist for Jose Bautista. Bounces the ball right by Overbay, but watch him play it off the wall and then spin. That's where his infield instincts take over, where you spin 360. A good pick on the other end by Escobar to get Martinez. Credit him with an RBI. And the game's 10th run for the Red Sox.
David Ortiz takes the first pitch outside. Bautista has developed into one of the premier right fielders in baseball.
Pretty soon people won't start testing him anymore.
Curveball for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes to David Ortiz. Just off the plate outside. Red Sox have now scored 10 runs on 13 hits. Ortiz swings and misses, strike 3. Casey Jansen strikes out David Ortiz to end the inning, but the Red Sox tack on another run, an RBI for Victor Martinez. catcher to work the bottom of the 8th inning, Jared Saltalamakia, newly acquired in the organization, just joined the ball club here today. He has added some backup protection behind Victor Martinez. What a night for Clay Buchholz.
He has pitched so well in this ballpark in his career, and he's following it up here tonight. No earned runs in 7 innings. He came into this game with an ERA of 2.66, which is good for 3rd in the American League. At the All-Star break, his ERA was 2.45, the best ERA by a Red Sox hurler since Pedro Martinez in 2003. So Buchholz just keeps on mowing him down.
J.P. Arancibia, 0 for 2 tonight. Blue Jays have been able to just scratch out 5 hits against Clay Buchholz. Foul back.
Well, it looks like he's right on those pitches. He's got a very under control swing, and it's very quick.
Yeah, he doesn't have to pull the ball to hit it with power. We saw that in his first game on Saturday. He went opposite field for his 2nd home run. Put the ball out over the wall and right. Breaking ball pulled to the hole. Scudero has it. Long throw in time.
Number 45.
Travis Snyder hitting in the leadoff spot tonight. He has struck out twice. He also reached on an error. They had talked about Snyder, his development. I think the next 8 weeks are huge for Snyder and for this organization. So he gets consistent at bats. You get a real feel for how he might figure into your long-term plans, and for him just to regain the confidence he had prior to the injury.
Missed so much time because of that injury. Development time for him to learn the league, play every day at this level, and he will play every day.
Stays alive as he fouls off that off-speed pitch. He's just 22 years old. I mean, we have seen him in short spurts where you couldn't get him out. That's the way he was just before his wrist injury knocked him out back in May.
That was that road trip through Cleveland, Chicago, and then in Boston, where he was just hitting everything in sight.
Well, he was taking the ball down the left field line with power, pulling the ball out of the ballpark down the right field line. And it looked like he really was seeing the ball so well. Lays off that pitch down. Curveball bends around the outside corner. Fastball cut on and missed. 96 miles an hour from Clay Buchholz. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, to this point in the season, the Blue Jays have played just 9 games without hitting a home run here at the Rogers Center. They're 2-7 in those games. Now we still have the inning to finish off here and one more at bat by the Blue Jays, but it goes to show how much the home run has played a part in Blue Jays victories this year.
An awful lot of their wins are directly related to knocking the ball out of the ballpark. But tonight, Clay Buchholz has kept them from doing that.
You know, and tough to do against the two pitchers that the Blue Jays have seen the first 2 games in this series. Matsusaka and Buchholz tonight have been two of their hotter pitchers coming into this series. In the last couple of weeks, the two of them have combined for a 5-1 record with an ERA under 3. Opponents hitting .211. Matsusaka pitched in last night's game. They ended up winning that game, and Buchholz tonight has been very dominant.
Just off the plate, 2 balls and a strike to Escobar. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Red Sox lead it 10-1. A good sink on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
We talked about how the Red Sox have really played well against the Blue Jays this year, and it really has started with their starting pitching. John Lester has come up with some great games against Toronto this year. Buchholz in his career, this could be 5 of his last 6 starts, giving up just 1 earned run combined in those last 6 starts against Toronto. Matsusaka, we saw Lackey early this year. We haven't seen Josh Beckett at all.
Beckett was hurt early on. He has recently rejoined the team and pitched well outside of his last start.
They have the horses to keep it on, keep it going.
And they're Clydesdales.
Big and strong.
Big and strong. Escobar takes the 2-out walk. Buchholz has done a nice job of pitching ahead. Just the second walk he's issued here tonight. Both of them to Escobar. John Farrell, the pitching coach, checking with the bullpen. Off speed pitch, a ball on the strike. Dustin Richardson, the big left-hander, getting some instruction from Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach. Tuck keeps that scouting report with him down in the bullpen, talking about the hitters he might face. And swing and a miss from Bautista.
95 miles an hour.
Hadn't lost a thing, has it?
Nope. That scouting report we talked about, now 107 pitches for Buchholz. Fastball's got some steam, and they can maintain it throughout the ball game.
Popped out of play. Hey, look at Buchholz for the season. He has done a nice job going 12-5. This is his 20th start of the season. He had a complete game back in June at Baltimore. Breaking ball, gloved by Scudero. He bobbled it, and they still have time to get the base runner at second. Escobar is forced to second after Scudero knocked down the line drive. We've played 8 innings here at Rogers Center. Boston all over the Blue Jays. congratulations from his skipper for a job well done. 8 innings of 5-hit ball. The only run he allowed was an unearned run. Looking to improve his record to 12 and 13 and 5. Excuse me.
And lower that earned run average from 266. It'll go down. Start of the day, third in the American League. Looking for number 13. David Percy into the game. He will be the Blue Jays' 4th pitcher tonight. Casey Jansen worked a couple of innings and gave up just 1 run, a couple of strikeouts. David Percy in to finish this one off. We saw him 2 days ago again in that 17-11 game that the Blue Jays won. Percy just threw 2/3 of an inning in that game and wants to get out there very quickly to make amends for what happened there.
Eric Patterson came on as a pinch runner for Adrian Beltre. His first at bat tonight. Begs a wide one. Two-0. Foul right off the mask of J.P. Arancibia. Catchers choose to wear that batting helmet underneath their mask, and when that mask pops off, it looks much more violent than it actually is. That strap just doesn't grab onto that plastic helmet.
Still got to shake up that coconut a little bit when you get one off the face mask.
Patterson late on a fastball.
I asked Bruce Walton about David Percy, and I said, why is it that he can get that fastball in on left-handers? And he said, you know what, I just don't think batters see the ball when he is on the mound. He's got a very herky-jerky type of windup.
Excuse me, Tapper to third. Encarnacion not in time. Patterson got out of the box despite the check swing. He runs so well, Encarnacion didn't have much of a chance to throw him out.
And it did look like he picked up the ball from Percy. He's got some good speed on that fastball. Throws it right out of his shoulder. Check swing by Patterson, but he is leaning towards first base. When the ball hits the ground, easily makes it an infield single. He's got some great speed. A lot like his brother Corey Patterson for Baltimore.
When Patterson's aboard, Mike Wold had a big night and a big series. Lowell's been on base all 4 times tonight. 3 for 3 with a walk. Pops this one up. Behind shortstop. Escobar back, calls for it, makes the catch. Buchholz with a chance to win his 13th game here tonight. His last 3 starts a little bit more what the Red Sox expected.
June 26th, they were playing out in San Francisco. Clay Buchholz was pitching in that game. He left in the 2nd inning with a left hamstring strain. That was his first no decision of the year. Went on the DL and spent a few weeks there, but since he has come back, he has been great. 2-0 with an ERA just over 2. Last time out, he beat the Yankees for the first time in his career.
Two balls and no strikes to Ryan Kalish. Yankees are playing the Texas Rangers. They are facing Cliff Lee. Top of the 6th inning. Texas leads the Yankees 6-1.
How about Cliff Lee down in Texas?
Wow. So much for the Texas heat knocking starters out of games. Cut on and missed by Kalish, 2-2. So if the scores hold up, and there's a lot of time left down in Texas, but if they should hold up, Red Sox would be 4 back of the Yankees.
Tampa Bay lost today.
That's popped up on the left side. Another chance for Escobar. 2 outs.
With that loss, Tampa, they lost 3-2. Verlander beat Garza today. Red Sox pull a little bit closer to the Rays, and now will be just 3.5 games from the wild card.
This team has played with a lot of confidence throughout all the adversity. Guys like Bill Hall have made dramatic contributions. But you look at their season numbers, you say, well, what's so big deal about 15 home runs and 36 RBIs? But you got to consider that he's done that as a fill-in. 2 outs now with a runner at first base.
Those 15 home runs, those 36 RBIs, just over 200 at bats. That's some production.
A ball on the strike. Big swing and a miss from Hall. Well, Bill Hall was a regular in Milwaukee, was a regular shortstop, was a regular center fielder, and was an impact player, an all-star, had big home run seasons, and then came over here knowing that his playing time was going to come off the bench.
He had 35 home runs one year when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers. Played some shortstop, and J.J. Hardy came up, and they said, well, can you go over and play third? So he went over and played third. Then they said, well, can you go out to center field because we've got this young kid named Ryan Braun we want to play at third base. So Braun played there. He moved out to center field, became a pretty good outfielder. Well, can you play some second base also? He's played all over the place for the Brewers. And then when Ryan Braun went back to the outfield, Hall went back to third base. They moved him around constantly.
This time he strikes out. Percy gets the strikeout. Gives up the leadoff infield hit and nothing more. Blue Jays will bat bottom of the ninth. They trail by 9. Pitch the 9th inning. Hey, Buchholz had a great 8 innings of work tonight, and now he turns things over to Richards.
Selected in the 5th round in the 2006 draft, made his way to the big leagues last year. In fact, his big league debut came against the Blue Jays back at the end of September. One of the left-handers out of the bullpen for Terry Francona. Doesn't pitch in big situations, but he's got a big career. 6'6", 220. He's got a very good arm.
Dwayne Wise bats for a first time tonight. Wise took over defensively in the 8th inning for Vernon Wells. Dwayne Wise has had a positive impact in his time with the Blue Jays.
I think he's a perfect number 4 outfielder. He's been around. He's a veteran. He knows the league. I think your 4th outfielder has to be able to play center field. And he can certainly do that.
And he probably has to be able to play for 2 straight weeks, considering one of your regulars goes down for a DL stint. And you know that Wise will hold his own playing every day for a couple of weeks. Late on a fastball. 2-2.
Can steal a base if you need him to. He can pinch hit. He's been around long enough to do that. Number 1, you have to play defense, and he can do that. He gets great jumps on the balls and takes great routes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Richardson strikes out the first batter he faces here in the 9th.
Good fastball from Richardson. 26 years old. Dustin Richardson.
Adam Lynn's had a big night at the plate. His average up to 232 with 3 singles. Richardson's got a good fastball, and that crossfire delivery has to be tough for left-handed hitters. Find the baseball, coming out of that gray uniform, turns his shoulders and hides the ball very well.
It's an easy 92 or 93 miles an hour. He's got great length.
Big slow breaking ball in there for a strike. Good combination of pitches from Richardson.
Especially against left-handed batters. Blue Jays haven't seen a lot of them.
A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out here, bottom of the 9th. Fouled off and held on by Jared Saltalamacchia. 2 strikeouts for Richardson.
Handles the lefties in the 9th inning. Gets Dwayne Wise with a fastball. That time Adam Lynn just nicks it. Saltalamacchia holds on to it for the 2nd out.
John McDonald will bat for the first time tonight. He came into the game as a pinch runner back in the 7th inning. Base hit into center field. In fact, a changeup that McDonald waited on. Brings a smile to his face. His only at bat.
I don't know if it hit off the end of the bat or not, but it was placed perfectly. Yep, right off the end of the bat, and then knuckles out into center field. No chance for either Hall or Scudero, the second baseman and shortstop, to get that one.
Stayed with that high changeup, and even though he hit it off the end of the bat, gets enough of it for a base hit. Lyle Overbay, 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
Richardson was a starter in the minor leagues, coming up through the ranks through the minor league system for the Boston Red Sox. But once he got to Double-A, they made him a reliever, and he ended up his minor league career with more strikeouts than innings pitched. Could be a nice weapon out of that bullpen for a youngster like that to get some strikeouts.
Well, I have another young left-hander down in the bullpen right now, Felix Dubron, who was the winning pitcher in last night's game. He too was a starter, and they project him as a starter down the road.
He's got good size and all 4 pitches.
A ball and a strike to Overbay. Red Sox have continued to turn over their roster. Last year they chose to let Jason Bay test the free agent market. They ended up signing with the Mets. They replaced him with Mike Cameron, if you will, even though Cameron came in to play center and Ellsbury started out the season in left. Overbay stays alive.
Turn over the roster. They also wanted to change their theory also, pitching and defense. They went out and signed Mike Cameron. They signed Adrian Beltre, who's a terrific fielding third baseman. Signed John Lackey. I think they still have enough pump also. At least we've seen it against the Blue Jays this year. Turning on the power.
Base hit left field. Back-to-back 2-out hits here in the ninth. Just the 7th hit for the Blue Jays tonight. Red Sox have pounded out 14 hits.
That'll keep Lyle Overbay's hit streak going too. That's 6 games now for Overbay. A 2-out hit in the 9th inning.
Edwin Encarnacion. Late on a fastball. Encarnacion 0 for tonight. 0 for 3. A couple of pop-ups and a ground out. Some happy Boston fans got a souvenir. Ball on the strike. Red Sox really busted things wide open in the 5th. They scored 5 runs on 6 hits, including home runs by J.D. Drew and Adrian Beltre. He's put the game out of reach at that point.
That 3-run home run by Beltre was the big blow.
Broken bat liner to Scooter, that'll do it. The Red Sox have won the first 2 games of this series. Bill Hall with a big night at the plate, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. He hit 2 home runs, his 4th career 2-homer game. Clay Buchholz wins his 13th. The Red Sox win 10-1. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned for Connected.